Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today's episode is a juicy one. Such a truth that so many people don't realize, especially women. I want you to realize that your life is not going to change until your decisions that you are making change. So you've probably heard the saying before, nothing changes if nothing changes. And that honestly could not be more true. So let's dive into it. So this video is going to call you forward because it's going to either irritate you or it's going to liberate you in a way that you feel inspired to take action. Because honestly, like I said, your life cannot change until your decisions do. And I really want to go through why you should understand that point and why it's so important. Most people just turn it into like a motivational poster and they just write it on a little post-it note and put it on the wall and completely miss the point, because what does that change actually mean? Now let's go through that, and this is what my channel is all about. It means that nothing is going to change until you decide differently. So not just once, so you're not going to make a change once and your life is going to change, not occasionally, but consistently as a new standard in your life that you live to. Because most women say that they want a new life, but they keep making decisions from the same old version of themselves, and as we know, that's just not going to happen. So their life is just going to stay the same, not because the universe is punishing you, because your decisions are actually voting to have the same reality every single day because you're loyal to that old identity. I've got a multitude of other videos on this. I highly encourage you to go back and watch those and then come back and finish this video. Because this video today, I'm not making to hype you up. I'm not here to tell you to believe more, change your beliefs, manifest even harder. I am here to tell you the things that other people aren't even going to dive into. Your life, your entire life is built on the decisions that you make. What you're tolerating, what you're avoiding, the things you say yes to, the things you say no to, what you normalize, what you are going to walk away from. And this is the architecture of your entire reality. And if you keep making the same decision, you're going to keep building the same life, no matter what it is that you say that you want. So here's what's happening for most women, because they say they want change, but they keep living like they're waiting for something. They're waiting for permission to live differently. They're waiting to feel confident to do the thing. That's not how this works, my love, and I want you to understand that. And I'm going to say this with love, but I'm going to say it directly. If you're waiting to feel ready or you're waiting to feel confident or certain, you are choosing your old life and your old identity. Because a new life and a new reality requires you to live differently, make different decisions. So I want to put this in a really practical, obvious example for you. So let's talk about money. So you say that you want more money, but the decisions that you keep making are, if you have a business, you keep undercharging, you're saying yes to clients that are draining you, you're delaying the offer that you know you need to make, you're hiding your work from being seen until it's quote unquote perfect. So your life is going to keep reflecting what you keep deciding. Smallness, hesitation, and over-accommodating for people that you don't need to accommodate. And then you're going to call it strategy or timing. And it's not. It's simply not. It is your identity. The identity that you are living from. Let's talk a little bit about health and your habits. So this is another example where this can show up. You say that you want to feel better in your body. You say that you want to be healthier, but you're not making the right decision. So you might change your habit and then you're going to slip back to that person because you identify as someone who is just unhealthy, who is trying to become healthier. Instead of identifying with someone who just is healthy, just goes to the gym. That's who I am. You're still making decisions from the old identity, perhaps the version who uses food or scrolling as your comfort zones, the person of you who says, I'll do that tomorrow, but you keep saying that every single day. Your reality changes when your decision and your standards for yourself change, and that comes down to who you are identifying with. So who is it that you identify yourself to be? And here's another truth bomb for you, because no one else is saying it, so you can trust me to say it. Your life is not created by your desires and the things that you want. It's created by your defaults. And your defaults are made of decisions that you don't even have to think about anymore. So the ones that you say, that's just how I am, that's just who I am. No, this is just what you have been deciding. And honestly, nothing is going to change until you change, and that means the person who is deciding those changes. So let's talk about what deciding differently actually means. So I want to make this clear, because this is where a lot of people can mess this up. Deciding differently in your life doesn't mean making one bold choice and then going back because your old identity is trying to keep you safe and that's all it knows. So it's going to try and drag you back to the things that you have been doing in the past. It doesn't mean that you're going to have one motivated big day. Deciding differently does not mean that you're going to be doing a big declaration to do this thing and then collapsing back to the old standard. It means that you're going to install a whole new standard for yourself. So it's going to look like saying no for the first time, not the fifth time. You're going to charge what you said you were going to charge. You're speaking when your old self would normally stay quiet. You're going to keep all those commitments to yourself. You're going to act like the woman that you say that you are becoming. And yet, I can tell you this is at first it's going to feel really weird and unfamiliar. It's literally just unfamiliar to your brain. So until you normalize it and make that your normal and help those habits and those standards slip into your default mode network, that's where you become living on defaults and creating those new neural pathways. My book is coming out really, really soon. It's called Identity Code, and I can't wait to dive into these topics even more. So comment below if you want to get on the waitlist for that. Because you are not here just to simply live in the familiar. You literally are not. You are here to live the truth of you and to live to your full potential. And that's what I want for each and every one of you. And this is where I'm going to be even more direct, because if you want a new life but you're refusing to make new standards for yourself, you don't actually want a new life at all. You don't. You want comfort with a different outcome. And that does not exist, let me tell you. A new reality requires you to become a new decision maker and to hold different standards for yourself. Which means you're going to stop negotiating with your old self. You're going to stop waiting for a mood for it to feel right. You feel ready, you feel confident. You are going to start choosing like the woman who already lives in that way, who already identifies with being that woman. This is about self-leadership, self-authorship, not just awareness. Because awareness you can get stuck in. Awareness is just bringing things to the surface. It's not actually making any change. Although it's very important to be self-aware, to bring these things up to the surface, but then you move on from those and you make the changes that need to be made. Feeling that internal voice saying, oh fuck, she's right. I want you to know that's a good thing, because I want you to stay in this forward momentum, and I want to give you something practical to listen to whenever you feel like the old identity is trying to drag you back. I have a free daily Rampage track for you that's not just fluff, it's not just positive vibes. It's a short audio that's designed to pull you out of the autopilot and back into decisive self-leadership on the daily. The link is below. I want you to grab your free track. And remember, if you're ready to go deeper and actually install this as your baseline, then the self-elevation experience is where we do that. You'll find the link for that below as well. But remember what I said at the very beginning. Nothing changes if nothing changes. And what that means is that nothing changes until you decide to change and have different standards for yourself. I'll see you in the next video.